So I want to take a second and talk with you a little bit about planning and Agile projects. There's a perception that I get, and I see it when I go to client sites. And that perception is that there's no such thing as planning for an Agile project. And I'm not sure where this comes from, because if you read the works out there, if you talk with the Agile leaders, they all talk about planning. I mean, there's a lot of work. Mike Cohn's book, Agile, Estimating, and Planning. So I'm not sure where the perception comes from that planning is anathema in Agile projects, but it's out there. So let me help you understand why you absolutely need to have planning. One of the important things that Agile brings to you and your organization is the ability to predict way better than traditional projects, because you have actual real-time data, your velocity and your burn down, that tells you where we are in process and those things that we have on the backlog when we're going to get to them. So why would you not use that data? Why would you not actually take that data and make plans with it? But to do this, you have to do some things first. And one of the things you have to do is you have to look at your backlog. This isn't a backlog, this is me preparing a speech for a topic, but you have to look at your backlog, which could be on cards like this, and you have to look at all the work that goes into that, and at least for the stuff up front, and I don't mean just the tasks in this sprint. I mean the tasks that are making up your first whatever you want to launch, which I would call a release, so would everyone else. The things that go into that release, you need to go in as a team together and estimate how much work that is in points, t-shirts, whatever you want to use for your estimation technique. But you need to look at your backlog and make those estimates, because then you can go to your leadership, project leadership or business leadership, and say, here it is. Here is how long it's going to take. And we know this because we have this actual data. And by the way, in 2 weeks after this iteration is done, we're going to come back to you again and tell you again if we can actually make this. Because we have, all these points here, and we've added it up, and we think we can draw a line here. We can't give you this one, but we think we can give you this one. But we'll know more in 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, okay, 2 weeks later, here we are. Well, we got working on our velocity, and when we finish this particular sprint right here, this first one with all these tasks associated with it, you can't see because they go off the screen, we found out that we actually were completing more than we thought. So, yeah, we can get you this one. Then you get into this one, and still seems true. Wait, you get into this one and you hit a roadblock. And this task is suddenly really hard, and harder than you originally thought. There was something that came up out of the blue, and this is wicked problems. That's why we use Agile, because we're dealing with wicked problems. Problems that you can't begin to understand the solution for until you begin to unwrap it. These are wicked problems. Look it up. Wicked problems. Most people know about it, but if you don't know about it, really read up on wicked problems. That's not a Josephism. But we got in here and we realized, oh my gosh, we're pulling our hair out. Yeah. Because this particular thing really killed us. We didn't finish anything in our sprint except for 1 or 2 little tasks, and this is definitely looking like it's out of the picture. You tell people then. Management wants to know. And they want to know not because they want to kick your behind about it. They want to know because they want to help. Really, management are people. They really are. They're not like beasts that are out there coming to get you. They're people that want to help. They're doing a job that they want to lead this organization, and they want to do anything they can to help you do a better job. So you hit a roadblock here. If there's anything they can do, they want to help you. And if not, at least you have told them, a month ahead, 2 weeks, you've told them far enough ahead that they're not going to get what they originally thought they were going to get. So help them out. Estimate your backlog. Now, it's going to take you some time. It really is. You're going to have to take time out. You're going to have to probably stop what you're doing, and you're going to have to take time and actually get out there and estimate that backlog. You have to stop developing software. Maybe, depends on how big your project is. I deal with some gigantor projects that take, 150 people working all full time on them to deliver. And these things, I've gone onto a project and said, we're stopping. We are stopping this project for a week, and we are going to estimate this backlog. Because the team doesn't understand what's in the backlog. They have to get out there and really realize, well, this one, what does it mean? What is this particular story? Oh man, okay, that's complicated, and 20 people have to understand it before they can actually estimate it. So it takes time. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to belabor the point, but I want you to understand that Agile does have planning. The planning is even better. Now, what it's not is it's not directive. Project managers, hear me out. You've got a bad rap. A bad rep in the Agile space. There's a reputation that project managers have for putting the thumb on people, for being micromanagers, and get out of that business. People know their jobs. If you don't have the right people on your team, get rid of the people. Okay? If the people aren't skilled enough to do the job, they need to be doing a different job. That's fine. But you need to get out of the business of thinking it's your job to tell them what to do. It's not. It's your job to gather information from them and remove roadblocks, gather information about what they're going to do. What do you plan to do there? How do you expect to what's your plan on getting this one done? What's your plan there? How do you expect to get it done? Okay, you got that planned out? Awesome. I'm going to write that down over here. I'm going to be your mouth to management, and I'm going to communicate what you've told me so that you can spend your time, developer, working on the software. Spend your time doing what you want, what you're passionate about. I'll spend my time doing what I'm passionate about, and that's working with management, removing roadblocks, making your life easier. Okay? So you have to get out of the job, though, of directing people and telling the developers what to do. Stop it. They're smart. They really are very, very smart people. So, anyway, beating on that drum. Get out there and help your teams. Help them understand what it is that's in the backlog. Help them plan it out so that you can communicate to your management that this is where we're at. We can make it or we can't. Constantly communicate that so that people understand what's going on and can see the value that Agile is bringing to your teams. All right, thank you, and we'll talk to you again soon.